Okay, so you're here because you really want to understand things,
Yeah.
right? And you want to get to the bottom of things
Thoroughly.
thoroughly. You want to walk away with a few aha moments, but you don't want to feel like
Right.
you're drowning in information.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's why we're here to bring you this deep dive. And today we're going to look at something that's pretty popular these days,
Absolutely.
making money online.
It's huge.
It is huge. And it's really interesting because there's so many different ways to do it.
So many different ways.
And we've gathered a bunch of info
Yeah.
from like real life examples
Right.
to all sorts of different models for online businesses that anyone can
start.
start.
Yeah.
So we're going to sift through it all
Right.
and hopefully surface the stuff that is most important
Absolutely.
and maybe even a little bit surprising.
And that's what we're aiming for.
Yeah. So we're going to take a close look at making money online.
All these different ways you can do it.
Exactly. And to kick things off, we're going to focus on a travel content creator,
Okay.
Tanya Khanijow.
I've heard of her.
Yeah, she's got a great story.
Cool.
She actually left her job in advertising
Wow.
to travel solo and vlog about it.
That's the dream.
Right. And what's really interesting is that she builds her content around what her audience actually wants to see.
So she's listening to them.
Exactly. She's answered their questions,
Interesting.
like how to travel to the Maldives on a budget.
Oh, I'd like to know that.
Right. So we're going to see how she actually makes money doing this.
Yeah. How does she do it?
And then we'll use that to look at the bigger picture of making money online.
Especially for those just starting out.
Exactly. Because her model can show us how to connect content and actually making money from it.
Right. Because a lot of people don't know how to do that.
Exactly. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's start with how Tanya funds her travels.
All right.
She's pretty open about how she makes money.
Which is good.
Yeah, and it's more diverse than you might think.
Okay. I'm curious.
So the first one, and probably the most obvious when it comes to videos,
Yeah.
is YouTube ads.
Right.
You know, the ones you see before or during videos?
Uh-huh.
So usually the creator gets about 70% of the revenue from those ads,
Okay.
and YouTube keeps the rest.
Makes sense.
Now, you might think with millions of views,
Yeah.
she must be making a fortune.
You would think so.
But Tanya says it's not actually that lucrative.
Really?
Yeah, she said she makes roughly 80,000 to 150,000 rupees a month
Before taxes.
before taxes,
Okay.
which sounds like a lot.
It does.
But she says it barely covers her travel expenses.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she said even a short trip within India can cost her 30 to 40,000 rupees.
That adds up quickly.
It does. So it's pretty clear that YouTube ads alone
Yeah.
aren't enough to make a living as a travel content creator.
You need something else.
Exactly. And that brings us to what Tanya calls
What's that?
the big one,
Right.
sponsored content. This is where she works directly with brands.
Right, like promotions and stuff.
Exactly. For specific posts and videos.
Got it.
She gave an example of a collaboration she did with Tata Tiago
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
during a trip to Goa. And some people just thought it was another ad.
Right.
But these types of collaborations,
Yeah.
they actually bring in a lot more money,
Then ads.
way more than YouTube ads,
Interesting.
because she's working directly with the brand.
Right.
So they see the value of her connection with her audience.
So it's like targeted marketing.
Exactly. And for Tanya,
Yeah.
it's a way to make more money
Yeah.
from her influence
Yeah.
beyond just the ads.
Makes sense.
Then there's affiliate marketing.
Okay. What's that?
So as a travel vlogger, she's always using and recommending products,
Oh, I see.
right? Like cameras,
Mm-hmm.
drones, travel accessories.
Essential stuff.
Yeah. And when people buy those things through her special links,
Okay.
she gets a commission.
So she's basically recommending things she already uses.
Exactly. And making money from it. That's pretty cool.
It is. Then there's merchandise.
Ah, okay.
Because she doesn't go all out.
What does she do?
She teams up with brands
I see.
to create things for her followers.
Interesting.
Yeah, the profit margins aren't huge.
How much are they?
Only like 10 to 15%.
Okay.
But she sees it as another way to,
So make some extra money.
yeah, and give her audience a way to support her.
That makes sense.
And finally, there are sponsored trips.
Oh, like press trips and stuff?
Exactly. They don't happen all the time.
Right.
But she says they're a win-win.
How so?
Well, tourism boards or brands will pay for everything.
So her flights?
Yeah, accommodation activities.
Hi.
Sometimes they even give her extra money.
On top of that.
Yeah, and she can bring her team.
That's awesome.
It is, so they're basically paying her to create content
Right.
and showcase their destination or product.
Smart.
So when you put it all together,
Yeah.
you see that Tanya has all these different ways of making money.
Yeah, she's got it figured out. It really shows you the work that goes on behind the scenes,
Absolutely.
beyond the pretty pictures and fun videos.
Yeah, it's a business.
Exactly. And she's constantly managing partnerships.
And different income streams.
Yeah, it's a lot more dynamic than people might think.
Right.
Which brings us to our next topic.
Okay.
How can you start making money online?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Especially if you're just beginning.
Right.
So Tanya's story is about travel,
Yeah.
but there are tons of ways to make money online.
Okay.
And her journey shows us some key things.
Like what?
Diversifying your income.
So not just relying on one thing.
Exactly. Using
Yeah.
your skills and connecting with your audience.
And putting in the work.
Yeah, consistency is key.
Absolutely.
So the internet has created what we call the virtual economy,
I've heard that term.
and it's full of opportunity.
Yeah, it seems like it.
And one of the best things about it is how fast things can grow online.
Right.
You can reach people all over the world instantly.
Which
It's huge compared to a traditional business.
yeah, no brick and mortar store needed.
Exactly. And it usually costs a lot less to get started.
That's good.
And like we saw with Tanya,
Yeah.
you can have multiple income streams.
Right. Bringing in money from different places.
Exactly. We even found this quote from Sarah Johnson.
Who's that?
She's an online entrepreneur.
Okay.
And she said, quote, "The virtual economy unlocks a vast array of possibilities, whether you're launching a small online venture or exploring diverse income streams. The internet offers unparalleled scalability and flexibility, enabling you to adapt and thrive in the constantly evolving digital world," end quote.
Wow. That's a mouthful.
It is, but it basically means the internet gives you so much
To
potential.
reach people and grow.
Exactly, and to adapt and change with the times.
Because things change quickly online.
They do. Okay, so one of the biggest areas in this virtual economy
Yeah.
is e-commerce.
Right. Buying and selling stuff online.
Exactly, and it's a massive opportunity.
Seems like everyone's doing it these days.
They are, because it's basically turning online interactions into sales.
Okay.
You can share what you're passionate about
Right.
with customers all over the world.
Global reach.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for beginners who are just starting out,
Yeah.
drop shipping is a popular way to get into e-commerce.
Okay. What's that?
So it's basically
Yeah.
you partner with suppliers
Yeah.
who store and ship the products.
So you don't have to deal with inventory.
Exactly. You don't touch the products at all.
Interesting.
Yeah. You focus on building your online shop,
Right.
marketing your products,
Mhm.
and making sure your customers are happy.
So it's more about the business side.
Exactly. And because you don't have to manage stock,
Yeah.
you can offer a wider range of products.
To appeal to different people,
Exactly. And it costs less to get started.
which is good for beginners.
And it's less risky
Right.
because you're not investing in tons of inventory.
Okay, that makes sense.
So if you do go the e-commerce route,
Yeah.
you really need to keep your customers happy
Oh, of course.
and make sure you're selling as much as possible.
Right.
So the research we looked at
Yeah.
highlighted a few key things.
Okay, tell me.
Engaging with customers on social media,
Oh, yeah, that's important.
through email, and even offering live chat.
So they can get help right away.
Exactly. That personal touch
Right.
can really build loyalty.
Right. Because people want to feel valued.
Exactly. And your website needs to be attractive and trustworthy.
So it looks good and people feel safe buying from you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So having good product pages is essential.
With lots of information.
Yeah, and good photos.
Absolutely.
Customer reviews are also important.
Oh, yeah. They can make or break a product.
They really can,
Mm-hmm.
because people trust other people's experiences.
Right. Especially online.
And then there are some sales tactics you can use,
Like what?
suggesting related items.
So if you're buying this, you might also like this.
Exactly. Offering special deals and discounts.
To entice people to buy.
Yeah, and creating loyalty programs.
To keep people coming back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're rewarding your repeat customers.
Smart.
It's all about building those relationships.
in the online world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because people have so many choices online.
Right. You need to stand out.
Exactly.
Okay.
So moving on from e-commerce,
Yeah.
freelancing is another popular option.
Oh, yeah. I've heard of that.
If you have skills like
Yeah.
writing,
Mm-hmm.
programming, graphic design, business consulting,
In-demand skills.
yeah, there are tons of opportunities out there.
That's good to know.
And freelancing gives you a lot of flexibility.
In terms of
Working remotely, setting your own hours.
So you can work from anywhere.
Pretty much. And a lot of people love that.
Yeah. Freedom and flexibility.
Exactly. And finding freelance work is easier than ever.
How so?
Because platforms like Upwork, Freelance, or Fiverr
I've seen those
They're basically marketplaces.
where you can connect with clients
Exactly, and showcase your skills.
and build your portfolio.
Yeah, and get feedback from clients.
Using and improve.
Exactly. But to be successful as a freelancer,
Right.
you need to keep learning.
Oh, of course.
You have to stay up to date.
On the latest trends.
Yeah, because the industry is always changing.
Right. You need to stay ahead of the game.
Exactly. We found a quote from Ryan Robinson.
Who's that?
He's a freelancer and entrepreneur.
Right.
And he said, quote, "The future of work is freelancing," end quote.
Wow. That's bold.
It is, but it shows how important this is becoming.
Yeah. More and more people are freelancing these days.
They are. Okay, so if you're really knowledgeable in a particular area,
Okay.
you can create content and teach people online.
Like online courses.
Exactly. You could also write ebooks or guides.
That sounds interesting.
It is, and it's a great way to make money from your expertise
Right.
and build your reputation.
As an expert.
Exactly. And the great thing about online courses
Yeah.
is that they can reach so many people.
Once they're created.
Exactly. You put in the work up front,
Uh-huh.
and then they can generate income over time.
Without too much extra effort.
Yeah. So how do you make a successful online course?
I'd like to know that.
First, you need to really understand your audience.
Who you're teaching.
Yeah. What are their needs?
Where were their problems?
What are they interested in?
So you can tailor the course to them.
Exactly. Then you need to plan the structure.
How it's organized.
Yeah. Break it down into sections.
Okay.
Maybe add quizzes and activities.
To keep people engaged.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And of course, the content itself.
It has to be good.
It has to be high quality,
Right.
accurate, up to date, and easy to understand.
So use different formats like video and images.
Exactly. And then you need to think about how you're going to promote it.
Get the word out.
Yeah. Use social media, email marketing,
Collaborations.
maybe even team up with other experts.
Right.
So it's really about understanding the student's journey.
From start to finish.
Yeah. And making sure they're getting value.
And learning something new.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Okay. So if writing is your thing,
Okay.
ebooks and digital guides
Yeah.
can be a great way to make money.
Okay. Tell me more.
First, you need to find your niche.
Something you're good at.
Exactly. And something people are actually looking for.
Right.
You can do some keyword research.
To see what people are searching for.
Yeah. And analyze trends
Okay.
to see what's popular.
Got it.
Then you need to structure your content.
Like we talked about with courses.
Yeah. Make it logical and easy to follow.
Right.
And your writing style is important.
How so?
It should be engaging and friendly.
Like you're talking to a friend.
Exactly. Use real-life examples.
Make it relatable.
Yeah, and be clear and concise.
No fluff.
And don't forget about design and formatting.
That matters too.
It does, because a professional ebook
Yeah.
will sell better.
Okay.
So invest in a good cover.
And make sure the layout is easy to read.
Exactly. Then you need to figure out how to sell it.
Where to publish it.
Yeah, platforms like Amazon Kindle, direct publishing.
I've heard of that.
And then you need to market it.
Get people to buy it.
Yeah. Use social media, email, your website.
And get some good reviews.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's really about finding a problem.
That people have.
Yeah, and offering a solution.
Through your ebook.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's talk about something a bit more technical.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
Software as a service, or SaaS.
Sus.
This is where you develop software
Uh-huh.
that solves a specific problem,
Okay.
and people usually pay for it monthly.
Like a subscription.
Exactly. And it's beneficial for both sides.
How so?
Well, the developers,
Yeah.
they get a steady income stream.
From the subscriptions.
Yeah. And they can reach customers all over the world.
Oh, okay.
And for the customers,
Yeah.
they don't have to pay a huge amount up front.
Like for traditional software.
Exactly. They just pay for what they use.
So it's more affordable.
And accessible.
That makes sense.
So the SaaS model has really changed the software industry.
It's become very popular.
But if you're thinking about creating a SaaS product,
Okay.
you really need to understand what your audience needs.
Right.
So do your research,
Talk to potential customers.
get feedback, and
Yeah.
keep improving your product.
So it's always getting better.
Exactly. And customer support is crucial.
So people feel supported.
Yeah, and you need to keep adding new features.
To stay competitive.
Exactly. And you need to choose the right platform.
To sell it on.
Yeah, and figure out how to accept payments.
Right.
And of course, you need a good marketing strategy.
To reach the right people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's all about keeping your customers happy.
Yeah. And constantly innovating.
Okay, so now let's talk about something that a lot of people are interested in.
Okay. What's that?
Passive income.
Ah, the dream.
Right, and side hustles.
Making extra money.
Exactly. So the idea here
Yeah.
is to build multiple streams of income.
So you're not just relying on one thing.
Exactly. And some of those streams can be passive.
Meaning.
You set it up once,
Mm-hmm.
and it continues to generate income
Without much work.
Yeah, and side hustles are just extra ways to make money.
Okay, I see.
So it's about having a safety net.
And building financial security.
Exactly. And a key first step is identifying your niche.
Your area of focus.
Yeah, what are you good at?
What are you passionate about?
What does the market need?
Right?
You can research different niches.
To see which ones are profitable.
And then focus your efforts.
On a specific audience.
Exactly. So you become the go-to expert.
In that area.
Exactly. And once you've found your niche, you need to build an audience.
People who are interested in what you have to offer.
Exactly. And this is about connecting with people.
Right. Building relationships.
Understanding their needs and providing value.
Through your content.
Exactly. You can use social media, email newsletters, blogs.
All sorts of platforms.
And it's important to encourage interaction.
Get people talking.
Build a sense of community.
Because people want to feel like they belong.
Exactly. And to grow your audience and your income, you need a good content marketing strategy.
Okay, what's that?
It's about creating content.
Like blog posts, videos, podcasts.
Yeah, that's insightful and valuable. And that speaks directly to your audience.
Okay.
And you need to make sure people can find your content.
Right.
So you use SEO.
What's that?
Search engine optimization.
Okay.
So that your content shows up in search results.
When people are looking for information.
Exactly. So good content, it attracts people. It positions you as an expert.
And it drives traffic to your website or platform.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's dive a little deeper.
Into what?
Affiliate marketing.
Ah, yes. Passive income.
Exactly. So you recommend products or services and earn a commission on sales.
Through your unique links.
Exactly. So you're leveraging your influence.
Make money.
Yeah, without having to create your own products.
Which can be a lot of work.
It can be.
Right.
So to get started,
you
need to find affiliate programs.
Where can you find those?
Places like Amazon Associates, Share a Sale ClickBank.
Okay.
They offer a wide range of products.
So you can choose what fits your niche.
Exactly. And what you think your audience will actually want. And once you're in a program, you get special links.
That track your sales.
Exactly. And you can share those links.
On your blog and your videos.
Yeah, on social media, in your emails.
Got it.
And the more you connect with your audience.
And build trust.
Yeah, the more likely they are to buy through your links.
That makes sense.
And it's important to be transparent.
Tell people you're making money from these recommendations.
Exactly, because honesty is key.
Absolutely.
Okay, so social media.
Yeah.
It's not just for connecting with friends anymore.
Right.
You could actually make money from it.
A lot of people are doing that now.
They are, especially if you have a big following.
On Instagram, YouTube, TikTok.
Yeah, if you've built an engaged audience.
There are ways to monetize that.
Exactly. So first, you need to grow your following.
Get more people to follow you.
And engage with your content.
Right.
Because a bigger audience usually means more opportunities.
To make money.
Exactly. So how do you grow your audience?
Good question.
Create great content.
That people love.
Yeah. Talk to your followers.
Respond to comments.
Use relevant hashtags.
To reach more people.
And collaborate with other creators.
To tap into their audience.
Exactly. And once you have a solid base, you can start looking at brand partnerships.
Like sponsored posts.
Exactly. Or influencer marketing.
Where you promote a brand.
Yeah. So find brands that fit your niche.
And that you actually like.
Yeah. And show them how you can help them reach their audience.
Okay.
There are also platforms.
To connect with brands.
Yeah. And when you create sponsored content, make sure it feels natural.
Like it fits with your usual style.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And always disclose that it's sponsored.
Be upfront with your audience.
And don't forget about affiliate marketing.
Oh, right. We talked about that.
Yeah, you can use your social media to recommend products.
And earn commissions.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay, now let's talk about YouTube.
The video giant.
It's a powerful platform for sharing videos.
And making money.
Exactly. You can make money from ads, sponsorships, merchandise.
And even donations.
Yeah. So to be successful on YouTube,
what do you need?
You need to create engaging content.
That people want to watch.
And that looks good.
Professionally produced.
And that provides value.
Whether it's entertainment or information.
Exactly. And you need to upload videos regularly.
Consistently.
So people keep coming back.
And YouTube's algorithm likes that.
It helps you get recommended to new viewers.
Okay.
So when you set up your channel, choose a good name.
That's memorable.
And customize your branding.
So it looks visually appealing.
And write a good about section.
To tell people what your channel is about.
Exactly. And use keywords.
In your titles, descriptions, tags.
So people can find your videos.
When they're searching.
Exactly. And to make money from ads.
Yeah.
You need to join the YouTube Partner Program.
Are there requirements for that?
Yes. You need a certain number of subscribers and watch hours.
Okay.
And beyond ads,
Yeah.
you can do sponsorships,
With brands.
sell your own merch,
Directly to your fans.
and even get donations.
Through fan funding.
Exactly. And most importantly,
What's that?
engage with your viewers.
Talk to them.
Encourage them to like, comment, subscribe.
Build a community.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And use analytics.
To see what's working.
Yeah, and understand your audience.
So it's a lot of work.
It is, but it can be very rewarding.
If you're passionate about it.
Okay, so we've covered some of the big ways to make money online.
Yeah.
But there are lots of other options too.
Like what?
You could take online surveys.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those.
It's an easy way to make some extra cash.
Just for sharing your opinions.
Exactly. And you can sign up for multiple sites.
To increase your earnings.
You could start a blog.
And share your thoughts with the world.
And potentially make money from it.
Through ads or sponsored content.
Or even selling your own products.
Okay.
You could write an ebook.
We talked about that.
And publish it on platforms like Amazon.
Right.
You could develop an app.
If you have coding skills.
Yeah, and sell it on the app stores. You could become a virtual tutor.
And teach people online.
Yeah, in subjects you're good at.
I like that.
You could build websites for people.
If you're tech savvy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even start investing online.
To grow your wealth.
There are so many possibilities.
It's
The
incredible.
list goes on. You could sell your art or photography online.
Wow.
Become an online translator.
If you're multilingual.
Yeah, start a podcast.
Like this one.
Become an online coach or consultant.
Okay.
Create and sell digital products.
Like what?
Ebooks, templates, music.
Interesting.
Work as a remote customer service representative.
Some home.
Offer transcription services.
So many options.
The internet has opened up so many doors.
It really has.
And the key takeaway here
What's that?
is that you can combine these different opportunities.
To create a more stable income.
Exactly.
Yep.
So you're not putting all your eggs in one basket.
Right. Diversify your income streams.
Exactly. Okay, so once you've got some things going, you might want to think about scaling up.
Growing your business.
Exactly. So you can diversify even more.
Right.
Look at automation tools.
To save time.
And maybe even outsource some tasks.
To free up your time.
Yeah, so you can focus on the big picture.
And grow your business.
Exactly. And of course, use digital marketing and data analysis
To reach more people.
and improve your results.
Okay.
So it's all about working smarter, not harder.
Right.
Now, word of caution,
Okay.
there are still scams out there.
Oh, yeah. The get-rich-quick scheme.
Exactly. They promise you'll make tons of money.
With little effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they usually focus on recruiting new members.
Instead of selling real products.
Or they ask for money up front.
For a fake job.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So be careful.
Do your research.
Don't share personal info too easily.
Yeah.
Use secure payment methods.
And stay informed about scams.
If something sounds too good to be true.
It probably is.
Exactly. Trust your instincts.
Right.
And report any suspected scams.
To the authorities.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
it's clear that the online world is full of potential.
So many ways to make money.
We've looked at different business models.
From travel to e-commerce to freelancing.
And everything in between.
Yeah.
And the main takeaway
What's that?
is that financial freedom online.
Is possible
It is achievable.
with the right approach
Yeah, if you choose the right strategies
and put in the effort
and adapt to the changing online landscape.
because things change quickly.
They do. So here's something to think about.
Okay.
What unique skills or passions
Did you have?
do you have that you could turn into an online business?
Yeah.
Maybe the most surprising way to make money online.
Is something you haven't even thought of yet.
Exactly. So explore your options.
And see what's out there.
Thanks for joining us today.
It's been a great deep dive.
We hope this has given you some inspiration
And some practical advice.
to start your own online journey.
To financial freedom.